they were speaking Sanskrit as we speak our mother tongue. So it was really fast. And Arjuna was so smart that he could understand, which takes us a whole lifetime to understand this, but he could understand because he was in the mood. I want to know. When you are in the mood, I want to know, I want to inquire. You become a sponge, right? You take in. And when you start doing, maybe what he's saying is right, maybe he is wrong, then that sponge becomes stone. Only that part which is soft will take. Another time will say, let me see what he speaks. Then you become a stone. Sometimes people ask us questions just to check up our knowledge. And I asked them a simple question. I was talking to one of my colleague devotees. He's done his IIT and MIT from States. He's the president of Pune Temple. So I was asking him, so we were just talking. So he said, it's so strange. If I ask some commerce student or a chartered accountant or a businessman, what is medulla oblongata? He'll say, I have never studied it. If a positive particle is passed through the magnetic field, what is it known as? Oh, I've not studied about that also. But when you tell him, start talking about God, he'll start he'll start off. Where do you study this? Nowhere. Then how the hell are you speaking? This I like about the Westerners actually. I talked to a few of them about God. They said, sorry, I do not know anything about God. I would like to know. But in India, what happens? It is the most easiest topic to talk on. As if he has done a PhD on it. How much time have you given to study this knowledge? How much time? Give me the hours. How many hours? And I said that I've given 30 years. Every day minimum of 8 to 9 years of reading. Have you given that much of time? Of listening and reading and following the whole spiritual process? Then why don't you shut up and listen to me? And if you are a scientist, it happened with me, what happened once, they took me to people who were retired. That you please, this old age home is there, and they were actually people who were extraordinary in their field. Some was a chief engineer, retired chief engineer, he's staying, he was there for a few days. They just come in and they go. And I told them, I said, you all are experts in your field. And I'm not talking about your field. And for your knowledge, I am expert in my field. You have given, for studying your knowledge, to be a top scientist, to be a top engineer, you have given at least 25 years of your life in just studying that subject and then applying it. I have also given 30 years of my life doing this. So would you consider me to be an expert? He says, yes. And then you keep quiet, because in India there is a big problem to preach to people who are basically white-haired. मेरा सफेद बाल ऐसी थोड़ी हो गया है. मैंने ऐसी हो गया है. There's a big problem. Whereas if you go to a church, an 18-year-old boy is there who's a priest. If he's giving a sermon, everyone will be quiet and listen to him, because they know that this boy has studied this knowledge. We have not. He has gone to a seminarian. He has studied this. But in India, then I tell them a simple thing. When you get a heart attack, what do you call a doctor? Safed baal ho gaya hai. You should have medical knowledge also. How do you get knowledge? Just because your hair becomes white, you get knowledge? I'm very sorry. You may be experienced in some part of knowledge, but not all parts of knowledge. And I respect you for the experience which you have in your knowledge. I respect you for that. But in the same way, please respect me for what knowledge I have. So please don't talk of God on anything. As in India, you have a son, the son is born. Oh, Gopal has come. Come on, you nonsense. God has taken birth in your family. Can't you say Gopal ka das aaya hai, servant of Gopal has come? When a girl comes, Lakshmi ji aa gayi. Bogus person. Say Lakshmi ki dasi aayi hai. Servant of Lakshmi has come. No. Directly Lakshmi ji only comes in my house. That does not make Lakshmi ji great. You call a foolish, mad person as the president of America. does not actually increase the reputation of the President of the state of United States. It actually, and does not make that person great. It actually reduces the respect of the President, right? If you call a Gada, "Ye mera baap hai." Now the Gada never becomes the baap, father, but the father loses his respect, right or wrong? So please don't call any Tom, Dick and Harry as God. In India there is Bhagavan. Bhagavan. I like to be a servant and you're making me the master. Whole life I'm trying to become a servant. And you're trying to make me the master. How can I be happy? How can Hanumanji be happy if you tell him, "Hey God"? He'll say, "Come on. I want to be known as Ram Bhakta Hanuman." Is it right or wrong? So Guru is actually a bigger servant than you. Because he is serving God more than you. So who becomes a bigger servant? Who's serving the person less or more? The person who's serving more becomes a bigger servant. Bigger servant means what? He's lower or higher? Actually he's lower. That is what the Vaishnava philosophy teaches. That's what Bhagavad Gita teaches. That's what actually the Shastras are talking about. Not that I have become God. So Guru is God. No, Guru is not God. Guru is respected like God, but he is not God. Because he is a representative of God, that's why he is respected like God. Like, for the example, ambassador of a country is respected as the president of that country. But actually he is not the president of the country. The moment he starts thinking himself to be the president, he is removed. And he put behind bars. And the same thing happens with us. The moment we try to become God, this is what happens with us.